Number 23, moves off scale on the 0 side of the meter. Moves off scale on the 0 side of the meter. So if the thermocouple leads were inadvertently crossed at installation, what would be the cylinder temperature gauge pointer indicate? It would move off scale on the side of 0. Move off scale on the 0 side of the meter. Move off scale to the 0 side of the meter. So if thermocouple leads were inadvertently crossed at installation, you could tell the cylinder temperature gauge pointer would move off scale on the 0 side of the meter. Number 24, either a Wheatstone bridge or a radiometer circuit. A Wheatstone bridge or a ratiometer circuit. Ratiometer circuit. So a common type of electrical operated oil temperature gauges utilizes a Wheatstone bridge or a ratiometer circuit. Wheatstone bridge or a ratiometer circuit. Number 25, a current generated by the temperature difference between dissimilar metal hot and cold junctions. A current generated by the temperature difference between dissimilar metal hot and cold junctions. So the indication of a thermocouple type cylinder head temperature indicator is produced by a current generated by the temperature difference between dissimilar metal hot and cold junctions. A current generated by the temperature difference between dissimilar metal hot and cold junctions. Number 26. Both number 1 and number 2 are true. Power plant instrument range markings show whether the current state of the power plant operations is normal, acceptable for a limited time, or unauthorized. That is true. And the second one says, power plant instrument range markings are based on installed engine operating limits, which may not exceed but are not necessarily equal to these limits shown on the engine type certificate data sheets. All right? So, they are both true. Both of them are true. All right? Number 27. Are designed for a specific installation and may not be altered. Are designed for a specific installation and may not be altered. Thermocouple leads are designed for a specific installation and may not be altered. Number 28. Are connected to the electrical wiring on one end and the cylinder on the other. Are connected to the electrical wiring on one end and the cylinder on the other end. So thermocouple leads used to measure cylinder temperatures on an aircraft reciprocating engine are connected to the electrical wiring on one end and the cylinder on the other. Are connected to the electrical wiring at one end and the cylinder on the other. Thermocouple leads used to measure cylinder temperature on the aircraft reciprocating engines are connected to electrical wiring at one end and the cylinder on the other. Number 29. Only the first one is true. So engine pressure ratio, EPA, is a ratio of exhaust gas pressure to the engine inlet air pressure and indicates the thrust produced. The EPA, the engine pressure ratio, is a ratio of exhaust gas pressure to the engine inlet air pressure and indicates the thrust produced. Okay? The first one is true. Number 30. Three-phase AC generator. It's a three-phase AC generator. So what unit in a tachometer system sends information to the indicator? A three-phase AC generator. A three-phase AC generator. What unit in a tachometer system sends information to the indicator? A three-phase AC generator. All right. Number 31. Both 1 and 2 are true. Let's look at them. Generally, when a turbine engine indicates high EGT for a particular EPA, when there is no significant damage, it means the engine is out of trim. Sounds true. Some turbine power aircraft use RPM as the primary indicator of thrust produced. Others use EPR as the primary indicator. That's also true. So both of these are true. They're both true. Okay? Both of them are true. Number 32. Dividing the turbine outlet total pressure by engine inlet total pressure. Dividing the turbine outlet pressure by engine inlet total pressure. So the engine pressure ratio is determined by dividing the turbine outlet total pressure by the engine inlet total pressure. Engine pressure ratio is determined by dividing total pressure by engine inlet total pressure. So the outlet total pressure by the inlet total pressure. All right. Number 33. Chromal and aluminum. I think we saw this one before. I remember that. Chromal and aluminum. So turbine engine EGT thermocouples are constructed of chromal and aluminum. Chromal and aluminum. Turbine engine EGT thermocouples are constructed of chromal and aluminum. Chromal and aluminum. All right, guys, that's it for that one. Take a quick quiz, and I'll see you soon.